Hello, ACC partners. This is Bonnie from the Arts and Culture Collaborative, and I want to show you how to submit events into our website successfully. So the first thing that you're going to do is go up to Members Only, and we should have given you a username and password. If for some reason you can't log in or you lost your username and password, please email or call us. There is submission instructions here as well, as in case you forget. So I'm going to go ahead and hit sign in. You're going to sign in with your username and password. Click this and wait till that little wheel stops and you get a check mark, and then go ahead and hit login. I'm going to leave this in because several times I do this, I've had to type it in twice, so you can see that you're not alone. And usually on the second time I get in okay. Now for some reason, I don't know why, but it takes you right back to the home screen, as you can see by the green highlight here. So you're going to just have to click Members Only again. And you might not see this because I'm an administrator on the account. I am looking at something a little different here. So you're going to hit Event Submission Form. There are some other things here. You can go back and check your events or pay your membership. But for this purpose, we're just going to go to Event Submission Form and go ahead and fill that in. Okay, so we're going to come down here to Event Title. And we're going to call it Cats Off Broadway. And an event description. So your event description doesn't need to have dates, times, prices, and all that, as that information will come later. However, I do have some members that do enter that, and they do it in a nice format, and it looks really nice and clean. So you know, if you want to repeat that information, that's totally fine. The other thing you can repeat up here is and I really like to see this if you have this happen, where if you have like a 6-week course, if you can type that in, it helps me, and it's kind of hard to explain, but when we have to clean the banner up, if there's a description and it says the 6 or 8 week class, it helps us to know, because we kind of like to put that it's already started. So if somebody does happen to go onto our website and say, oh, this looks neat, it might be an event I want to go to, but it already started, I like to add that so that people know. And, you know, you could also help us with that by letting us know if they can drop in or not. And you could also put if there's a prerequisite suggested. So some of our members have classes that are beginner or advanced. So, you know, it might be obvious if it's an advanced class, but if the person really needs to take the first class to succeed, you should let them know that as well. All right, so we're going to get to the tricky part, but I'll just put something in here. I'm not even going to type anything per se. I'm just going to throw some stuff in there. I want to spend a little bit more time with the date and time, so I'm going to hop on down here next. Now, the reason why I picked a play to put in here is because that seems to be the bane of everyone's existence as far as putting it in when there's a lot of different dates and times. We have some that have like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Some are matinees and some are nighttime. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make this last through December. So to make this effective, I'm going to do Thursday. And so this date and this date should always be the same. I know that's kind of tricky, but this would be if people were doing like retreats over the whole course of a weekend. Please don't do that, because it will fill up our whole calendar. And that's why we can't have you do a big range like that. Everybody should be in New York type frame, the time zone. So now we're going to go ahead and schedule multiple events, because it always gives you this little recap down here if you're ever confused about what you actually entered. So right now, this event is from, oh, see that? By reading the recap, I realized I didn't put the time in. So I'm going to put Thursday, 7:30, and I don't know exactly what time it ends. I could delete that, or I could put a time in. So I'm going to put 7:30 to 9:30. Let's say our event is 2 hours. You can type it in, or you can find it on here. But make sure that you're putting the right AM or PM in. Again, this stays the same. Okay, and so this event is from 7:30 to 9:30 on December 5th, 2019. Now, I want to schedule some more days, and I actually want to schedule a recurrence of that. So I'm going to hit multiple events, and let's say I want this to go on every week in November on Thursday nights. So it's going to be the same time at 7:30. The series is going to end on the last Thursday in December, so the 26th. An event every week that begins at 7:30 on Thursday, repeating until December 26, 2019. Perfect. Now I'm going to add more. Now I want to do Friday. Weekly again. And we got to unclick Thursday, click Friday, and this time it's going to be a different time. It's going to start at 8 p.m. and it's going to end at 10 p.m. Same day, series ends on, and it's Friday again, so it's going to be the 27th. An event every week that begins, repeating. Okay, so that looks good. Now we're going to do Saturday. Now, let's say on Saturday we have a matinee and a nighttime show. So weekly, we're going to uncheck Thursday, we're going to check Saturday. And we could leave the 7:30 if it were the same, but Saturday, I'm going to say it's at a different time, and I'm going to put the matinee in first. Doesn't really matter, but I'm going to put that it's 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Same day, and series ends on Saturday the 28th. And now I'm going to put in, just reading that, I'm going to put in that it's also going to happen at 8 o'clock at night. So again, weekly, Saturday, uncheck Thursday. Now you could obviously, if you had 2 days that were the same, so I could actually add Saturday up here. And then I just have to change this to Saturday. So you can put things together that are the same. And then we don't have to do a Saturday night time because we've already got it in with Friday. Do you see what happened there? So we've got Thursday, we've got Friday and Saturday, and then we've got the Saturday matinee. All right, so I think that kind of gives you an idea how that works. Now we're going to add an exclusion. And you would use weekly if there's, like 2 weeks or something, but we're just going to put in once, and we're going to put the date that this is not going to occur. So let's just say it's not going to occur on the 21st of December for whatever reason. So we can go ahead and add that exclusion. You can add more if there are more. Okay, so now we're going to get down to the image, and I don't have an image of a cat. I'm going to put a koala bear. And I don't know why, but it doesn't show it there for you. So just always check at the end to make sure that it got entered correctly. You should check your events in real time to make sure. In my events, I know they're not going to be up on the site until I approve them, but you should check them after you enter. So, you're going to put in whatever applies event-wise. Fundraiser, lecture, children's. These are just, good for somebody that wants to go in and search for just children's events or what have you. And then event tags. This could help with SEO. If there's an appropriate tag in there, you can go ahead and use it. And venue details. Now, before you go and type something in, many times your event venues are already listed here. So you can go in and put, I'm trying to find something that would make sense for a play. I'm going to put NVCC Playbox Theater. If you need to edit the venue, you can, but otherwise, this will have the details there. Organizer, always put who you are. Make sure that people know. So I'm going to put Arts and Culture Collaborative. If there's more than one event organizer. You can add it. You can add several if you needed to. You know, we recently had Waterbury Symphony Orchestra and the Palace doing something together, so be sure to put that in. Event website, that's going to be your external link. That goes to your website, ideally. Okay, now this is a part we really need your help with because these have been getting entered in correctly, and I'm only at the Arts and Culture Collaborative budgeted for 15 hours a week, so it takes away from time that I could be doing some other stuff for you guys and social media and other fun stuff. So please, please, please make sure this is 25 words or less. Please do not just go up top and copy and paste it into this box. And you can move this box larger so that you can see and count. There's absolutely no reason why this shouldn't be 25 words or less. That's really, really important. The other thing is that these are getting entered incorrectly here, so I definitely need you to be cognizant of that, and I'm going to show you how to enter those. For the event I just entered, this is how we're going to put it in. Please use the example if you forget how it looks. So it's going to be December, period. I know we're past September, but September is, we use SEPT, period, but all the rest, I think, if it has to be abbreviated, is just the 3. So we're going to do December 5th, comma, space, 12, comma, space, 19, comma, space, 26. Okay, after the series, we're going to hit a colon, space, space, and the time. I think we put to 9:30, so we'll go ahead and enter that. And we need PM in there also. So space after the 30, PM. Okay, then if we need to add our next series, we're going to do a semicolon, space, and we're going to put the Fridays in. So actually, I'm just thinking now, we did Friday and Saturday at 8 o'clock. So we can add the Fridays and Saturdays here. So this is what we would do. We would go 6, comma, 7, comma, 13, comma, 14. Again, we can open this up so we can see a little better. 20, comma, 21. Sorry, there needs to be a space in there. And then 27, comma, 28. And those are 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Space, space, 8 o'clock, space, PM, dash, 10 o'clock, space, PM. Okay, you see how that worked with the December? And if it was a different time for the Saturdays, then we would separate them out and we would have done 6, 13, 20, 27 at whatever time, and we would have done 7, 14, 21, 28 at the other time. Okay, now also Saturdays we had a 2 p.m. show, so that's what we're going to do a little differently here, is we're going to do semicolon, December 7, comma, 14, comma, 21, comma, 28, colon, 2 o'clock, space, PM. That's what that should look like. There shouldn't be any date ranges in here. The only range you should ever have is the time range. There shouldn't be anything in there like matinee written out. This is what it should look like. This allows me not to have to edit it, and it gets downloaded and it goes directly into the guide. There's always going to be little issues where we might have to fix spacing. That's not that big of a deal. But if you can please, please, please adhere to this and adhere to the 25 words or less so that we don't have to be forced to just chop it off, because then I have to go in and edit it to have something that makes sense. And then your event cost, pretty simple. You can put a range in here if you'd like, $0 to $5. I've seen some do that if it's some sort of lecture or something, and then 0 is for members and $5 is for not. And that would be a good time to add that extra information up here in the event description, so you can explain your pricing. Some theaters have similar pricing because they're smaller, but something like the Palace is going to have a range of prices, and they're not going to necessarily explain it up here, but let's say you have two different prices for two different reasons. I'll use an example. If it's a class and it's one price if you have supplies and another price if you do not. So that might be a reason why you'd want to elaborate. So make sure you're elaborating and giving the end user all the information that they need to know so that they don't really have to call you with questions or call us with questions. If they don't have any questions, that's the way that you would successfully enter an event. And as long as you do these two things, that would really be great and save us some time on the other end putting the guide out. Then you just go ahead and submit your event and then check it to make sure that everything looks correct. Thank you so much for watching this video. We really appreciate you taking the time to make sure that you know how to enter events correctly.